Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to do an analysis here of these games that I played with SPANK'UM CHESS. Before we get started, a couple of things. One, we're at 89 subscribers. I need 11 more to get to 100, which is the first big, well, I guess the first big milestone is somebody other than my grandma subscribed to my channel. So we're at the second biggest milestone, which is 100 subscribers. So if you guys watch my content, you like these videos, you know, helping me get to that 100 mark would be much appreciated. Two, SPANK'UM CHESS, if you haven't checked his channel out, go check him out. His videos are, I love his content. I think he does a great job, and he's a super cool dude. We'll play these games, sit in Discord and chat. You couldn't ask for a cooler guy. Good quality videos. Go check my man SPANK'UM CHESS out. So, with that said, let's take a look at these games. So, we played probably 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, and when we played black, he played the fantasy variation of I played the Carl, he played the fantasy variation. So, in this game, he plays e4, and I don't want to let my man study up and you know, and hit him with the same thing. So I mix it up. I've been working on this. I made a couple videos now. So I've been trying to play the Sicilian more and try to add that into my repertoire. So that's what I play here. Mix it up. I think he was probably expecting the Caro, but we go with the Sicilian. So he immediately goes with this, and I'm not an expert in the Sicilian, but I know that I don't want to play, you know, or shoot, you know, I don't want to play, you know, I don't know, something like this, you know, or whatever. So I know that the move here is this. I know this is the move. So that's what I play. He comes down, I get out of the way, he goes here, and then I'm trying to play the Taimanev Sicilian, and I learned that if you guys are interested in the Sicilian, Chessbra, whatever, has a series of videos on their channel where Amon Hambleton plays through from, you know, 400 or 500 up until, you know, into the 2000s, and he's playing exclusively the Taimanev Sicilian. So that's where I am drawing my knowledge from here. So that's what I'm trying to duplicate. So I'm playing moves that I think that Amon Hambleton would have played. So I know this move, I need to play this. He brings the knight out, and I'm going to develop my pawn here, or bring the pawn out, because this is a move that I know that gets played in the Taimanev, and I want to stop his knight from being able to hop in down here and kind of be a nuisance. So I figure the knight's on the side of the board. Let's keep him from being able to get down in here. Maybe he could go here, but, you know, I'm going to keep him from coming in and you know, immediately being a nuisance. So this is a useful move that I wanted to play anyway. So he plays this, striking at the center. We exchange pawns, and now my knight comes out. I think the best move was maybe the Finkip. I watch Chess Boot Camp, and he says a lot. He's like, I could just chuck in a check, and then he'll play the check out of nowhere, you know. And not that I'm better than him; he's a higher rated player than me. But when I see that, I always think, I'm like, I want to keep that check in my pocket, you know. So, for example, you know, if he played here and, you know, something got, I mean, I don't know. If for example, if he played this and pushed this pawn, well, now this check causes more problems. I mean, I know this pawn isn't here, but for example, if he played kind of in a similar fashion, well, the knight's over here. It can't come back, right? So this now is a more meaningful threat instead of just being easily parried. So I don't really like to play these checks that don't really lead to anything. I want to keep it in my pocket because maybe later I could, you know, put it, you know, play the check, and that'll get me out of the problem that I have at the time. So they say this is the best move, but I don't like to play these without a good solid reason. So he brings the knight in, and I develop the bishop. I'm sorry, the queen. I do not want him to get this square. If he anchors that knight on this square, this is going to be a pain in the ass. So I want to stop him from getting in there. I guess actually, no, if I play here, he is able to come in. I could take, but now he's got this pawn anchored in here, and it's, I don't know why the computer, yeah, just kick him out and let him have this square. I mean, look how ugly that is. Check, I take, he takes, and now he's got this pawn, just 2 squares from promotion. No, I'm not gonna do that. So that's what I play. Rose. Now I kick him, because now if he jumps in here, he's going to lose a pawn. So he jumps in, and he loses the pawn. So he develops the bishop. I bring my knight in, which really I probably should have went ahead and done this. But I have this fork, and I'm thinking, bring him back, or he's going to have to give up a bishop for this knight. So, which I guess really, is this bishop better than this knight? No, it's not. So I really probably shouldn't have played that, but that's what I played. He castles, and I trade off for the bishop. So now I go here. Again, I'm trying to play the Taimanev, and this is a move in the Taimanev Sicilian. Get this on this diagonal. He develops the pawn, or the bishop here. He is supporting the pawn again, I guess. And now I'm on this diagonal. So when this moves, now you've got a checkmate threat, right? I mean, the knight is blocking right now, but it in effect pins this knight. So if, in the future, like say I get a pawn right here, right? You can't move this knight, because if you do, if my knight isn't here and my knight gets here, you're gonna lose the game. So I want to get this strong diagonal here, and so that's the move I make. And he plays here. Now they say this is a mistake. I haven't really gone in depth over this review, so I'm not sure what they think is best here. To take this diagonal. Why? No. Ooh. Okay. All right, so that I didn't see that. So he plays rook over, and he played his rook over, and I jumped my knight into the center of the board, because remember, this is a checkmate threat. If you take here, you lose your queen. If you take here, you lose the game, but you've got to do something. And this guy has only defended once, and he's attacked twice, so he drops back. I take with check, forking the rook and the king. He captures, and I recapture, which wasn't best. This is best. I guess to do that, or maybe to do this, and then... Oh, baby. That is gross. I didn't see that. Yeah, I think the idea here is I could play, take like this, or if he moves this, then I've got a serious checkmate threat, so maybe I could take here, come down, and play like that, something like that. So instead of trading the pieces, his king's exposed, and I guess it does make more sense since his king is so compromised to keep the queens on the board. He plays here. I get my rook on the open file. He goes here. I just drop back, protecting the bishop. This is a good outpost square. You don't have any pawns that are going to be able to challenge me on the file, and I have an isolated pawn here that's not going to be able to advance. So I like this move pretty well. He plays this, stopping me from castling, but at this point we're in an end game. Not necessarily the end game, but the queens are off the board. You've got one bishop. You got both your rooks, but I'm not like super scared that I'm going to get checkmated here, so I just play this, and I'm going to just slide up here. I didn't castle, but my king is more central. It's one square off the back rank. It's more in the center of the board, so I feel like this is a pretty good move. Now, I messed up here, I think, because if I take this, he cannot recapture, because that's checkmate, because my bishop keeps him from escaping. In the game, I thought that I already had checkmate if I brought these rooks over. So I let him capture my pawn over here. I don't know what was best. What's the computer think is best? To take. Yeah. So I didn't. And he just picks up a couple of pawns, which was stupid of me to do that. It was a terrible oversight because I played this thinking I had checkmate, and then he dropped this back, and you talk about a cold shower. So I swap off, and I come up here, and I'm forking the pawn and the bishop. He's got to retreat, and I do pick up one of the pawns. So he advances. I go here. He gets himself some breathing room, and now I'm going to kick the bishop away from the defense of this pawn. What did they think was best? Getting the king out. Okay, makes sense. When he takes, though, now I pick this isolated pawn up. So I lost a couple of pawns on the other side, but I have gotten I got them both back. But the problem that I have now is I have this pawn, and it's running. So I'm sweating this. He comes down, and I take the second pawn. So I get another pawn out of this. So I come back, and again, now here at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I could take this, and then I could, we'll just trade bishops. He pushes the pawn, and this is what I played. And this I don't think I should have played. Let's see what the computer says is best. Yeah, so I thought about this, dropping back and letting me get behind the pawn. That's what I was thinking about. But I'm like, well, I won't be able to capture it. He could do something like this, and it's just going to be a thorn in my side forever. So that's what I went with. I do think that it was best to just stop this pawn outright. But, okay, I didn't. So this is nonsense. It doesn't want me to challenge him. Oh. Well, okay, I see. Wait. No, that is very instructive, actually. So instead of trying to, because basically I'm trying to stop this pawn, but if I play this and he comes down, I think I can just start playing my own kind of, maybe, but I think the idea is that I can just start pushing my pawns here and start working up the board. And forget about this. You've got to worry about me now. And I think that is, I should have considered that. I didn't. I just want to beat him over here to try to get this pawn. So he plays here, and I'd step up. What do they think the best move is? I thought about that too, but now he can come here, and if he ends up winning this pawn, well, now his king. I wanted to keep my pawns level here because I'm really taking away squares from the king here. So that's what I play, and then I come over to win the pawn. And he was having trouble last night with his computer, so the game ended up going into game abandonment. He didn't leave the game, but he was just having some connection issues, and unfortunately that's how it ended. But we both played a really good game. I played, or he played as a 1700. I played as a 1950. It says his opening was only 84%, but mine wasn't fantastic. Well, I mean, it was 92%, so it's not bad. But, we both played a really solid middle game. I played 83.8. He played 80. I don't know why mine's so showing it's great. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, that was a good game. It was a good game, tight, So that was game number 2. Yeah, that was the second game. That was the second game that we played. And I'll show you guys the other game here, if I can find it. We split last night. We split the games 1-1. He won 1, I won 1. This is the first game. And if you look at the the accuracy here, me and him are just dead even the entire time. So I play e4, and he comes out with this Nimzovich. And the last time we played, I played something like this. He strikes at the center. This knight comes around. I played something like this. I came up here. And this isn't a position that I'm comfortable with. It's not something that I know. And I know that he knows what he's doing in this position. So just like the last time, I don't want to keep coming out here showing you the same thing. So I transpose this into a scotch. He takes, I take. He develops a knight. I take, he takes. And I want to damage his structure. I see the opportunity to damage the structure, so I'm going to double those pawns. And also, if he takes this way, which is ideal, I'm going to capture your queen and you're going to lose castle rights. So then you end up with isolated or double pawns. Your king's over here. You got 3 pawn islands. So I felt like that was a really, really good opportunity to swap that out, even though it leaves me with this complication of how am I going to defend this. So I bring my knight out. He activates the bishop, and I bring my bishop out as well. Now the idea here is, at some point maybe there's some tactics here like this. If I were to get my queen, say here, and then I make this push, well, you ain't going to have time to do that because you're going to lose the knight. So I want to get on this diagonal. And also, it defends this square. So now if he pins this now, I could do that, and no longer are you going to double my pawns. So, I think I liked the bishop move. He castles, I castle. He brings his rook to the open file. And I thought here for a long time, oops. Castles. Okay, yeah, I thought here for a long time. Well, I thought I did. I guess this isn't the move that I took forever on. What is the best move here? To go ahead and push him off of a square. Okay, I could see that. That's not what I played, but I can understand it. So I pin. He pushes this. And I come here trying to add more pressure to this, this knight. If he takes, then I have this fork. And it says that it's equal. But I don't understand how that's equal. Oh, I see. But God, is that not the most ugly thing you've ever seen in your life? Triple isolated pawn. So anyway, that's what I was thinking. He goes there. I get the knight out of the way. I realize I'm going to lose a pawn. But in this position, it says that I could win a knight. I'll show you the moves. I still don't know how the hell I'm winning a knight. I take, he takes. I mean, I don't know what's happening here. I have no idea. I don't understand that at all. It's got the whole game mapped out, though. Like, I don't know. So, I just take. He takes. I take. He takes. And now he's threatening my rook. And I'm like, okay, I can take this pawn, and now I'm threatening your rook. But when he captures and I capture, he takes a bishop. And this is what I miscalculated. So if I recapture the bishop, then he's going to, he ends up basically up a piece. Because this guy captured 2 things. So I picked that back up, but I'm still just down a piece now. But I play this so I don't lose the pawn. I'm going to get some of these on dark squares. He plays that. And I'm just trying to take some space away from him because, this and this is blocking his escape. He's only got this way out. And if I could get like this move in, this guy ain't going anywhere. So he comes down, I get out of the way, and I'm defending all these escape squares. He plays this, and I end up picking up the bishop. So balance, again, it's equal. We start pushing, and we get into this end game, and it says that he's got just a slight advantage, but then I just come in and shit the bed everywhere, and just am basically down a piece here. But I trade everything off, and I think that this was a terrible idea because look at my king and look at his king. I needed the rook. I felt like, you've got these isolated pawns, and my pawns are together. They're going to be able to coordinate better, and I wanted to get the rook off and take his weakness and kind of amplify it. That's what I'm thinking. But it didn't end up working out that way. I should have gotten I did get my king up here this time, but I played this, and the best move is that. I need to get over here and try to play over here. I didn't. I played this, and he stepped down, and when I started counting, he's going to be able to get down here, and I'm not going to be able to stop him. So the computer says that it's minus 0.15 if I play this perfectly. I didn't see a way to save it. So, I mean, that's what it says to do. I have no idea. To me, this is a lost endgame because he's going to be able to win these pawns, and I'm not going to be able to stop the A pawn from pushing. But we both played it said like a 1450. Our opening, I played just under 90%. He played 88%, so one and a 0.3% difference, I think. I had a beautiful 30% accurate end game. I'm beautiful, or middle game. You're not going to do much better than 30%. You get to listen. You get 1400, 1500. You can start talking about getting to this kind of a level. You read a book, you watch some videos. Maybe one day you can play 30% too. He played 70.8, so he really did do good. I just shit my pants here out of nowhere. I played 87% in the end game, and he played 60. So we both kind of it kind of ebbed and flowed here. But I felt at this point that I had lost, so I resigned. But I really me and him, when we play, we have these really back and forth games, and we both are aggressive players. I want to be aggressive. I don't want to sit back and make little, puny improving moves. And I know that sometimes that's best, and I don't want to get my knight pinned to my queen, and I understand all that. But I want to blow this board up. I want to get my pieces on active squares, and I want to rip the board open, and I want to put as much pressure on you as I possibly can. That's what I want to do. I don't like the gambits because I don't want to give you material and then you trade me down to an endgame and I'm down a pawn. But if I can, play something aggressive and rip this open, that's what I want to do. And he likes to play the same way. And we get into these games, and listen, shit gets crazy. You start getting in these complicated positions like we did with all these captures and stuff. It's easy to overlook, that bishop can capture my rook and another piece. And it's easy to overlook that. And I have found recently, the kind of the better I have gotten at chess, the more I like these complex positions, and the more I trust myself to not be the one to make that mistake, and I really do like these positions. Anyway, I have a good time playing with him. If you guys want to play a game, if you watch these and you want to get one of these videos, we'll play some games. Feel free, reach out to me on chess.com, and we'll set something up. We'll play some games, and I'll do an analysis of our games, and we'll see what happens. If you're 200, if you're 1,700, 2,000, come beat the shit out of me. It's all good. I've taken my lumps many times, and but I do look forward to hearing from you guys. Maybe we'll set something up like this with some of you guys. Again, if you've not checked out his channel, SPANK'UM CHESS, it'll be in the description. Go check my man out. Give him a sub. He's a good guy. You'll like his content. You guys have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe. Help me get to 100 subs. I'll see y'all in the next video.